When you have repressed feelings or emotions, it can be really easy to get frustrated or annoyed with life. The feelings and situations that we don't fully process and work through end up staying with us long term in a pretty strange way. These experiences have a jack-in-the-box type quality to them. They seem harmless and inert until they pop out unexpectedly. Your subconscious mind alerts you about patterns that it identifies as dangerous, like a busy street, the blade edge of a knife, or going onto hot pavement with your bare feet. But there are other ways it alerts you of danger that sometimes get misunderstood. There are patterns that we can obviously see once you understand them, but these same patterns can be very difficult both mentally and emotionally to identify. For example, imagine yourself as a talkative kid. Let's say you were made to feel like you were annoying or disruptive by just speaking to other people. Throughout your childhood, people directed their frustration towards you about how they felt about that. One day during school, you were talking to somebody at a bad time during class. It was such a boring class, and your mind was just trying to get some stimulation. The teacher just completely loses it and has a full-on mental breakdown, yelling, accusing you of being a problem, and taking away from other students' right to learn. He sent you out of the classroom to go sit alone in the hallway. You end up internalizing this moment, and the negative energy had nowhere to go. You're shook up, and you're stewing about the encounter for the rest of the class. Your mind bounces between thinking it's ridiculous because you said one thing quietly and feeling bad about yourself for being embarrassed. You leave the class, you don't really want to think about what happened because it's already over and you just want to move past it, but the event is running through your mind. It seems logical that stopping the entire class from making a huge scene was the truly disruptive event, not you quietly saying something to the person next to you. How could this have been a justified response to what you did? You feel that letting it go might be the best option. It's not just because you find it convenient and easy to let go of. It's something closer to being it's really hard to hold on to. What's the point of holding on anyways? It's already very emotionally charged and deeply frustrating to think about. You just let it go. Well, it turns out the avoidance of the feelings become the repression of more than just the event. Plus, it's living rent-free down in the suburbs of your unconscious mind. Now, it's years later. You're out somewhere in a public setting. Two people are talking super loud and fast. Loud enough that you're having trouble tuning them out, and you can't even hear your own thoughts. You look over at them, and you're actually pretty annoyed. Not proud of it, but it actually disturbs your ability to enjoy yourself. Eventually, you work yourself up and you say, "Hey, can you please just quiet down a little bit?" In the nicest way you can at the time. They both turn and look at you. Whoa, who the heck is this guy? Mind your own business. And they go back to talking. This is actually pretty rage-inducing. Who does that? They have literally no respect for others. Now let me explain how these two events connect and how one causes the other years later. When we're forced to put away parts of ourselves because of ridicule, fear, or punishment, we lose a little bit of ourselves each time. For the lost little bits to not feel like huge, devastating losses, we unconsciously connect the negative feelings from what happened to that part of ourselves that it happened to. The more unjustified it feels, the harder it is for us to be able to defend ourselves about it. It feels like it came out of nowhere. When the event happened at school, you let it go. Letting it go felt natural back then, but you didn't realize in the moment that letting the feelings go ended up letting go of something else too. The innocent part of yourself that was just being you. No intentions of causing a problem or hurting anyone in any way. The feelings you had that you let go of was in some sense a refusal to defend that innocent part of yourself. I'm not saying you should have made a scene about it during the event. I'm talking about reflecting on the situation with a clear head afterwards. Processing what happened, rationalize that maybe you frustrated him, but in no way was that reaction warranted. In no way was his anger yours to take as a parting gift. In no way should you just internalize all that inside yourself and act like nothing happened. Sometimes when we are hurting inside, it feels better to just pretend everything's fine. Instead of facing the moment, you just let it go. And in that moment, the part of you that was often happy and free was let go with it. And you probably got a little bit quieter that day. Maybe not much. Not enough where you or anyone notices, but enough that it lasts. Enough for it to be sealed away. Because of the part of yourself that was lost in that moment, you now have something that psychology calls a shadow. The term was coined by Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology. The shadow is basically the mind's way of protecting you from danger without you having the proper understanding about why something's dangerous. It's the mind's way of getting rid of any part of your personality that are deemed unwanted or unacceptable. In this case, it was the innocent part of yourself that was used against you in an effort to shame you. The way that the shadow interacts in your world is through projection. Your repression becomes a lens that you see your environment through. Your frustration with their talking touches the same sore spot where you used to be that way. It hurts, and you see the pain as frustration. You don't connect two and two together, so it becomes easy to blame the other person for why you feel that way. So the whole point of all of this is to explain how it's happening so we can discuss how to transform our repressions back into being part of ourselves. We have to do what we wouldn't do before. Face all of the feelings. We have to think about what happened, walk ourselves through it, figure out what was so impactful about it. Was it because I was embarrassed? Was it because I was caught off guard? Was it the anger? Was it that I didn't want to stand up for myself? Did that make me feel unwanted? Did that make me not want myself? You have to ask yourself the hard questions. Figure out why you avoided it and why it got stuffed away. When I get caught up on something currently happening or something that I have repressed from my past, I imagine myself in the future as an old version of myself who's already gone through all of this, the one who's already acquired the wisdom and the one who knows how all of this plays out. He's already been through this part of my life. He's outside of it, with the perspective of the wisdom from the journey of being in it. I ask him, what am I not seeing about this? I let this wise version of myself give me advice. But most importantly, it can be extremely healing to put yourself outside of the situation and look in on it. That's because it becomes a clearer view of what's happening and it's not so personal. Now, everyone has their own methods. Emotionally processing is hard. It hurts. It can be emotionally exhausting to even try, but it's always worth it. The load becomes lighter as you go. You develop more skills at handling it. You gain wisdom from the experience of going through it. And most importantly, you slowly collect back the pieces of yourself that were pushed out of your mind. They might even be the most important parts. A side bonus, you stop being agitated with the world in the small way, because it doesn't touch a sore spot anymore. And even more, beauty gets to return to the way you see everything. The shadow is more than just a feeling, but it isn't captured in ideas. It seems to appear wherever we go, but no matter how hard we look, we can't see it anywhere. In the next video, we're going to take a trip down into your shadow's neighborhood, the suburbs of the unconscious mind, and figure out once and for all how this slippery little fella is running around like he's invisible. I'll leave a link to the next video on the screen.